Greetings, Ani, Bojo, Kwekwe, Tansi, Scano, Hiya. It's Catherine and Brian at Moonstarlodge in South Central Ontario. Welcome back, if you're new or you're old. I'm befuddled today. It's a high pressure system. My head's aching. And Spirit has, since the moment I got up, been downloading all kinds of information. This is a surprise video for me, and it's interjected into the middle of our cycle. We already have a video up for this week, but in particular, Spirit wanted me to address things that I had not addressed. Particularly the very special time of movement between the 21st and which is solstice, or Yule, which is considered midwinter, and the 30th, which is the actual new moon. So we have two new moons in the month of December. And so the difference here is we have a ancient traditional New Year's, the beginning of the new year, the return of the light on solstice, which is the 21st. We have the actual new moon at 5:27 p.m. on December 30th. But if you want to talk about the transition between the moon cycles, that becomes a New Year's point, so to speak. And then we have actual New Year's Day on January the 1st, as we typically celebrate. Historically, the holiday Christmas Yule season was celebrated right up until approximately January the 6th. It started on Christmas Eve and went right through until January 6th. So there's a lot of festivities, a lot of points of interest around this time of year. Many cultures, something like 30 different cultures around the world, celebrate this time, recognizing the return of the light. So I wanted to start with a reference to the medicine wheel, and here it is. So the black part here is the autumn, and the white part with this line denoting the star is winter solstice, and this begins the cycle of the counting of the moons all around here. So we're at this New Year point. This video also includes a reading with different cards, mostly different cards than the cards of the week. So there's an overlap here. And hopefully, if you get a chance to watch all of the videos, this one that's going up immediately as soon as we're done, plus the one that comes up again on Sunday, the 22nd for the 23rd through to the 29th, you'll get a more in-depth look at what's coming down the pipes. So this very special time means we are still in the energies of becomes her vision. And using the return of the light is our way of bringing light, enlightening the darkness that may still impede us fully and truly embracing the best that we can become. So it's still giving us some time between the 21st and the 30th to completely see what's coming, who we are becoming, what we've let go, and to honor that. So the rituals around solstice are intended to be honor points, and that's really important. One of the things I do, and I'll have Brian flip the camera for a second, apart from my ritual coffee here, is I have set up a little ritual space here. I have my tarot card holders, I have my sacred feather, I have a couple of skulls on the table, as well as a bell that I use for sounding to the ancestors. Here's some medicine bundles that I've created for the days of solstice. Here's one of the skulls. I didn't dare put Jorge on the table because he's quite rude. And he really likes Gina. There's another little gal. So I have a special journey crystal that I use for any ceremony at this time of year. And as you can see, there's a reading coming up here. But they wanted me to talk about the numerology first, so you can flip the cards, Brian. Actually, yeah, we'll do the numerology, and then they want me to speak about the indigenous tradition around solstice and what we would do in terms of ritual as kids. I will be doing a rituals class to help people do and create ritual spaces unique to themselves. So each of us has similar things we use, including the elements and things which represent the elements, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, that are culturally specific, personalized. You know, there are things that we can add into our own ritual space, but it's that being cognizant that's precious. And one of the things that Spirit said that we don't pay attention to enough is the numerology around this. So between now, and today is the 19th as we film this, the number of the day, so that's December 19th, 2024, is reduces down to the number 3. And so today, as I wake up into this, or as I woke up into this day, the 3 represents in the tarot the Empress card. So glorious gifts, abounding, the ability to give and take care of. But numerologically speaking, it's also the card of the Hanged Man, which is a 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. And it also represents the world. Card 21, 2 plus 1 is 3. So all 3 of those cards represent today. So in terms of my preparation for today, on my tarot card holder, I have the chance to pull out those 3 cards, which represent numerologically the number 3. I can pull out all the 3s of a tarot deck, and they all have elements in a similar manner, and sit in study of what that represents as I move energetically into and toward solstice on the 21st. So the 20th breaks down to the number 4. And the cards that represent that, again, are the Emperor, and he's all about the male energy of the Empress, the giving, being able to have authority over the keeper of the kingdom, if you will. And an additional card is the Death card, and the Death is about new beginnings. So yes, absolutely, the day following the 20th is the 21st, and it is indeed new beginnings. The actual number for the 21st is the number 5, and that's the Hierophant, the great teacher, the one of knowledge, the one who talks to us about researching and gaining and looking deeply, seeking knowledge about what's coming, what we have been doing in the time that brings us to becomes her vision. And the other card that reduces to the number 5 is temperance, bringing and blending, alchemizing what is above in balance with what is below. So again, the 19th, 20th, and 21st, you can pull out the cards representing those numbers, both in the majors and the pips, and the minors, that's the pips, and pull them out specifically. Yes, draw special cards, actually shuffle, go into a what I call prayerful, mindful space, and pull extra cards. But this is the time that we're supposed to be actually connecting with Source deeply and not getting into some sort of spiritual narcolepsy. I jump ahead to the new moon on the 30th, and that breaks down to the number 5. And so the number 5 again represents, on new moon, on the 30th, the Hierophant and temperance. And that's a wonderful space to have that knowledge, gaining knowledge, and looking at the new year, dreaming with the wheel, visioning, vision boarding, that sort of thing. Not necessarily exactly on the day, but starting the process, because all of this sets intentions. And then on the 31st, the number is the number 6. So the 6 gives us a different set of cards. 2024 was a number 8 year, so stability and looking, we've mastered a lot of things, learned a lot of lessons. Number 8s are masterful numbers, but they often require us to consider making a change or to go on a spirit quest, as in the 8 of Cups. The 2025 is a 9 year, so it's a completion cycle. And thus January 1st works out to a 2 year, number 2. But all those numbers add up to 11, and 11 is a master number. You reduce 11 to 1 plus 1. So the cards for that are, depending upon which system you work with, 11 is justice or strength. 2 is the high priestess. And 20 is judgment. So wow, in fact, I'll take justice and strength in the 11 position. So that's quite a grouping of cards to sit with just by themselves on January 1st. So there is numerology involved, and numerology can always guide our ritual setup for any particular day. So pulling those cards and pulling some cards for just, going into, as I say, the prayerful and mindful space is really great. And the grandmother, which I will do in greater length, is talks with relations. And she, as I say, goes in on the 30th. But she is the mother of nature, the keeper of rhythm, weather, and the seasons, guardian of the languages of the trees, stones, and creatures. She is the maker of relatives, keeper of Earth's needs, mother of the planetary family. She teaches us how to understand unspoken, the languages of nature. Kinship with all life forms and how to enter the sacred space of others with respect. how to honor cycles, rhythms, and changes of the seasons and weather, how to meld with the life force and rhythms in all dimensions, learning the truths of each one. She teaches us how to learn the truth. So that's a very powerful grandmother who always begins our new year, guiding us how to learn the truth. But let's come back for a minute to the power of solstice. I'm just going to move that over there. And before I do the reading, I must change into my granny glasses. I have spoken this story at different times, even here on YouTube. The sacredness of solstice is very powerful, and I feel it very deeply, partly because although in my original home, the family I grew up in, we did not ritualize in the indigenous way. That was pushed aside. But my father did take my sister and I out to a place, typically speaking, it was at the end of Victoria Road in Guelph, not quite the end, but near the end of Victoria Road, into what has become Guelph Conservation Area. And they had to flood a lot of farms to make that, but this is before it was flooded. And there were incredible trees, and the place that we would climb down from where he parked the car was called Monkey's Bridge. So if you're a Guelph person, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we'd climb down, struggling in our snow boots. Judy was about 2 feet tall until she got to adulthood, and she was about 4 feet tall. But anyway, we'd get through the snow and get to a place where the snow wasn't very deep. There was a lot of evergreens. And I don't remember deciduous trees in this place, but he took us there purposely. And my mother was never involved in this ritual. He just quietly did this. He was an alcoholic, and the longest night was a point in the month, the 21st, when he didn't have his pension check yet from being a wounded veteran, so he wasn't drinking or anything at that point. He was an alcoholic, a very wounded, very beautiful man, deep aspects of beauty in his spirit about nature especially. But at this point, he was showing us something very special. I didn't see how special it was until later in life. But he would have us stand and look for the stars between the branches of the evergreens. And when you look at stars against the trees, it looks like the stars are sitting on the branches. And he told us these are the ancestors come, that we had all night to talk to them. He wouldn't make us stay up all night, but to go and tell the stars our secrets and our wishes and our wants. And so we did. For Jude and I, what was as much fun, if not more fun, was watching my dad call the animals. And the deer would come, and the birds would come, and the little chickadees would land on his head. He had very dark hair. He was gray on the sides, but he had dark hair. And the chickadees would get in his long hair, and they looked like they were wading through the grasses on the savannah. And he'd go, "Shh, don't laugh, or you'll scare them away." And of course, we're little girls, so we laugh. And occasionally the birds would be frightened and do their business on his hair, which was absolutely hysterical. And that was what was fun for us, was him calling the animals. And I didn't know that other people couldn't do that. I never knew anybody who could call deer to come up to his hand with no apple or carrot. I never knew anybody where it was okay to call the foxes, and he just did it. And it was a beautiful thing, but my awareness of the stars, the star people, the ancestors, and our connection. Of course, we're connected every day of the year, but the stupendous brilliance of seeing and interpreting the stars sitting on the branches was an incredibly powerful thing to me, and has stayed with me for 60 more years from childhood. So yes, I ritualize best I can, and I admire Brian in his ability to deal with nature in a very similar way to my father. And I didn't know that about Brian when I met him, but I came to know that, especially when we were on the farm with the animals. Anyway, setting up altar space, there's no wrong way. Candles, shells, sacred objects. I like to have cedar. We haven't gone out yet to get a cedar bough, but that's okay. It's okay. Whatever works. It's the conscious connection. It's not the wrappings of, like wrapping a gift in paper. It's the gift. It's not how you dress up the ritual. It's the gift between you and spirit of whatever you can come up with for ritual. And so with that, I'd like to tell you the decks that I'm using for this special reading. And the Inner Child, it has very celestial theme. Of course, Seasons of the Witch, the Yule one. I used this last week, and it'll be in next week's A Christmas Tarot. It's just the majors. A deck I've never used on screen, I've had it a while, is the Yuletide Tarot. I'm going to end up with my Leaning Tower of Pisa falling down here. The Medicine Cards by Jamie Sands, because dotems were asked for. This Artist Decoded, because it has angels. Angels were the first spiritual beings I ever connected with by myself as a very small child. I thought everybody saw angels until I went to school. Anyway, The Journey of a Lonely Soul is very much a winter deck, and speaks to sometimes how we might feel as we move through this time, becoming our vision. So with that, Brian, I ask you to turn the camera for me. This is such a serious day, I had to have a second mug of coffee. So here are the Yule cards. This is the tarot, and then along here are clarifying the other decks I spoke of. So we start with the first card, which is, I think, the actual card used as the cover on the box. It's the star. So I pulled these earlier, and I just realized that's exactly the story that I just spoke of. Hopes and dreams, the enlightenment of the darkest, longest night, the representation of the ancestors, and its healing. It's healing all that has kept us from becoming the best vision of ourselves. It's clarified by the Yule card, Snow, There is beauty in the divine that settles on thy flesh, a magical enchantment bestowed in purity. So this is meant to be seen as a beautiful time. And yeah, that's all I can say. It's followed here by the Hanged Man. So we have the Star and the Hanged Man. Both are major arcana cards. I don't think there's another one. Oh yes, there is. There's a third major up here. The Hanged Man is about other perspectives, perhaps a little bit of having to stay back and look from a different perspective. Occasionally this represents sacrifice. This dude isn't struggling here. This is about the circumstances and situations of life in itself causing us to step back. And so right around solstice, that's something that we need to do. Even if we've begun celebrating with family and friends and co-workers and that sort of thing. Time to look as if with fresh eyes and new perspectives and take time. Time is essential here. It's clarified by the Four of Pentacles. So the angels in this deck are saying we don't have to move fast because things are secure. They're stable. There's no need to rush in our third dimensional life. Pentacles are the earth, our human life. If we are too stingy and don't let things flow, there can be a stagnancy. But this doesn't seem to be what's being said here. This is just about everything is stable and everything needs to remain stable while we look with new eyes. And I think you'll see that as we move forward. Then we have the Eight of Gifts, which is the Eight of Pentacles. This is mastery. This person is putting these gifts together like a pro. We know how to give to each other. We know how to be in service to each other. And we know what is important and what isn't. So we can be safe in the knowledge that we know what to do and we can do it. It's clarified by, you are enough. You do not have to give more. You don't have to make this pile of gifts, for every person that you have. You don't have to give a gift. We are enough, and we don't have to give more in service to others. We don't have to change who we are because we don't think we're good enough. We are good enough as long as we are working on the shadow things which hurt ourselves. The next card here is the Six of Six of Canes. Canes is swords in this deck. Six of Canes means moving in a direction, leaving one place and moving to another. Again, it's a change of perspective on a situation, and it's about knowing that things that have been rough are calming down. The light is coming. Here comes this light. It's calm. It's clarified by the cave with no windows. It's that cave represents the darkness of not seeing what is real for us. And suddenly we are hit with a light that lifts us up. So knowing that things can be dark, we don't know why this woman is taking her kids and leaving, but the change of perspective here is exactly what this calls for, or what this represents, not calls for. It's saying that the light comes. It doesn't matter that the cave has no windows. Light will break through. We have here the Ace of Good Cheer, and that's the Ace of Cups. So a new emotional beginning comes out of the solstice celebrations and rituals. And it's clarified by the Empress. Well, I've just spoken of the Empress card being an important part of the solstice days. This sense of giving, this reminds me of the Empress, making sure that everybody has something. This Empress energy is also making sure we ourselves are emotionally safe and secure, and this is new emotional beginnings, perhaps relationship. It's followed by the Wheel. In other decks, it's the Wheel of of Fortune. This is called the Wheel of the Year. It still represents the same concept, that we have good luck, we are moving forward. Even though this is covered in snow partway up, it's still, the energies are moving forward, and that's really important. If it's surrounded by negative cards, it's not good luck, but this is surrounded by good cards. And the clarifier for this is the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is the pip equivalent to the Empress. So there they are together. And in fact, this woman is very much like the Empress. So it's a giving. You're giving things and you're receiving. We are receiving from the universe way more than we are giving. And finally, the last card is the Six of Good Cheer, the Six of Cups. It's fine to be in a place of nostalgia, and it's fine. I think these are the same kids here, going to perhaps Grandma's house, I don't know, Grandma and Grandpa's house. It's okay to be in nostalgia and remember other times, but know that no matter what, we are moving forward. And with that, Spirit was very adamant that I get some cards representing dotems. And the two dotems are the dolphin. Dolphin is breathe, take in life force, accept the gift of usable energy, and touch the invisible. Raven is open yourself to miracles. Use new eyes, believe in magic, embrace life's wonders. Seeing with new eyes has come up here earlier. Raven is also sits in the southwest on the wheel and shapeshifts into the shaman, and it is the call to become the shaman that we can become. So with all this blat of unexpected information, Brian and I hope that you are well, happy, good food, good friends, good family time if you celebrate, and we hope you are at peace. We thank you for all the gifts that you have given us this year, and I would welcome any comments you have about this unexpected video. And I'm going to be using these cards for the week of, what is it, Brian? 29th. No,
30th to the 5th.
30th to January 5th. So I'm going to go ahead and film that, and because I want to use these cards. These have worked so well today. So be at peace. Thank you. Thumb up, subscribe if you haven't, and leave us a comment. And send me coffee. Oh my God. Miigwech. Oh, peace.